Hey everyone, I know this probably should have been my first video, but I just had to get the things I said in my previous video off my chest. To be perfectly honest, I'm not completely sure where I'm going with this channel, or this video for that matter, but what I do know is that I have a hell of a lot to say. In this video, I intend to explain the general idea and direction of this channel, but before I do that, allow me to give you some much needed context and tell you how I got here. I was born in the US to Israeli immigrant parents. My first language was Hebrew because that's what we spoke at home, despite my flawless American English. All my life, ever since I can remember, I felt this emptiness inside of me. I've always felt like there was something missing. But every time I would travel to Israel and see my extended family, I would be showered with so much love from my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, and whoever else you could think of. I would spend the night with my cousins. In fact, some of the best memories of my life come from our childhood sleepovers. Every time I would have to say my goodbyes to them and go back to my life, I would be so heartbroken. I wish I could have had more time with my family who I loved so much. I wish I could have spent every day with my amazing cousins in this beautiful land. But I couldn't. I lived in the US. This was just my life, and there was not a damn thing I could do about it. Don't get me wrong, I was a happy kid in the United States and I had a good life. I loved school and I had lots of friends, but at the same time, I never felt like I could truly connect with them on a deeper level. I did love them, but everything with them was very superficial and surface level. And it's very hard to explain, but I felt like I knew something they didn't, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. Not to say that I thought I was better than them or that I thought I was part of some sort of secret elite, but I just felt like there was something missing there. And I'm sorry if this makes no sense. It's hard to articulate. I always felt very isolated and alone, even when I had all these friends. They were always closer with each other than me. They all lived on the same street. Their moms were also best friends and went out drinking and dancing together on the weekends. Let's just say, my mother wasn't in those circles. I wondered why she wasn't friends with the neighborhood moms. I thought that if she made friends with them, I would also be more included, and I'd feel less alone. I didn't understand why at the time, but when I got older, I realized that she had nothing in common with them, and nothing to talk about with them. They were Japs, Jewish American princesses, and how much can you talk about manicures, salad recipes, and your son's soccer games, honestly? I learned eventually as a child that there was nothing I could really do, so I accepted things the way they were. I thought that if I just ignored that empty, hollow feeling, it would go away. It never did. But when I hit middle school, things changed for the worst, baby. It could no longer be ignored. After all, the psyche must be heard. I got sick with a chronic illness. Doesn't matter what it is, I don't like disclosing it. And I almost completely withdrew from my friends. I physically could not hang out with them anymore. I had not a single ounce of energy in my body, and I was constantly in pain. Making it through a day of school in itself was a struggle. I had to go home and sleep. Instead of them asking me if I was okay, or if I needed anything, they got sick of me, and they ditched me. I fell into a deep depression that honestly, I've yet to get out of. This next part though is where things really change. In 2014, I was visiting Israel just like any other year. If you don't remember, 2014 was the year that Ji-Eun, or Operation Protective Edge, happened. It was a normal evening, my family and I were eating some sushi, and all of a sudden we heard the bomb siren go off, and we all ran straight to our bomb shelter for refuge. Not to get too political, because that's not the point of all of this video, but this little incident filled me with rage. I was so angry that there were actually people who wanted to do this to us. What did my family and I do to them? Of course, I knew about the conflict and the wars and all of that, but listen, it's very different seeing it all play out on a TV screen versus witnessing it in person and living it for yourself. But along with that rage, it also filled me with passion, and it put me on the very long winding road to healing. So, Hamas, I would like to thank you. Before this happened, Israel felt sort of distant from me and out of my reach. It was the place where my extended family lived, and a place that I visited sometimes. But that's basically it. I loved it there very much, but because I didn't live there, I felt like I didn't really have anything to do with it, if that makes any sense. But Operation Protective Edge made me realize that I needed to deeply care about Israel and take defending it seriously. I became obsessed and committed to fiercely defending it, both on the internet and in real life. I sort of became something of a super Zionist. I thought to myself that despite all the balagan and all the things that Israel had endured from its neighbors, it still managed to be this beautiful, amazing, vibrant place with so many things to see and do, and with such spirited and amazing people that have such a strong passion for life. It finally clicked with me. Israel was the missing link. Israel was what was missing from my life. Not having it in my life was why I felt so empty all the time, no matter what I did. It finally made sense to me. So in the past few years, in light of this epiphany, I've done so much self-reflection and reflection on my environment and surroundings in the United States, which is what this channel is going to be about. I intend to share my many observations with all of you. I suspect that there are people out there, Israeli or not, who feel exactly the way I did. I'm here to let all of you guys know that you're not alone, and you're absolutely not crazy. There is hope, there truly is. It may take years to find your answer. I myself am still in recovery, and I'm still figuring out this entire Israel, homecoming, healing journey. I'm not really sure what to call it. If you could resonate with any of this, please subscribe to my channel, like this video. Really, anything helps. I want to expand my reach. I want people in a similar position as me to find this video and this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.